Hello everyone. Welcome back to another car video. I guess this is gonna be my YouTube now, is in my car. But it just always seems to, like, the best ideas hit me in my car. So we're just gonna chill out in my car and make sure my doors are locked so no one gets me. Because I'm actually sitting at Sonic right now, but the idea hit me and I decided I was gonna sit here and do my video and eat my cheese sticks that I just got. But anyway, so this hit me the other day, and I've been kind of stewing on it, trying to figure out how I wanted to present it to you guys. And I think I finally figured it out. So, first off, I'm Jessica. Welcome to my YouTube, The Nonlinear Recovery Life of Jessica. If you're new here, I basically vlog about anything and everything that hits me, that inspires me, causes me to consider, sorry, that's my thing. Let's see if it'll stay. Just causes me to think about life in a better perspective, and sometimes a negative perspective, because it is my real life. I'm not going to be a person who talks about mental health in a toxically positive way, because I feel that mental health is a struggle for a lot of people, whether they realize it or not. And the last thing I want to do is present it in a way of, saying that you always have to be happy, you always have to be, excited or whatever. And that's not what it is. And that's why I decided to do non-linear, because recovery and mental health is non-linear. It's not constant ups, it's not constant downs. It's very jagged. So that's kind of a little backstory of my YouTube channel and where it came from for those of you that are new. If you've been here a while, I'm glad you're still here and you're listening to my rambling conversations. But today's video is going to be probably a little short. Don't mind me as I eat my cheese stick. Just because it's mainly teacher related. And we're just going to kind of talk about more why I became a teacher, but also how even when you feel like you need to quit and it gets hard, you need to keep going. So basically, for those of you that know, and those of you that watch my longer mental health video, you know that I suffered with suicidal thoughts and major depression, still suffer with major depressive disorder and major anxiety disorder, or severe anxiety disorder. So there were many times in the course of college and even once I got a teaching job that I felt that I was not doing the thing I needed to do, and I felt like I was failing my kids, I felt like I was failing myself, and I wanted to quit. And there was actually a video that popped up on TikTok, and it was a sound of, I can't remember what the video was, but the sound is what got me. And it said something along the lines of, remember that moment when you felt so ready for things to end, for it to be over. And it said, think about all the things you would have missed. And that's something that I think about a lot, especially even now as I'm on medication and I do things to try to help, my mental health. And I have a fiance who understands mental health and helps me through things. I think about that a lot. And I think about, if I were to kill myself right now, the things I would miss, that I would never get to experience due to me ending my life. So I think that's a big idea. And it made me think of all the times where I wanted to quit teaching. And, my first year was great. Don't get me wrong, I have a wonderful school, I have a wonderful team, and I have a lot of support at my school as a first-year teacher. Or was a first-year teacher. I'm about to end my third year, so I'm going to stop being a BT now. Yay. BT is beginning teacher, because in North Carolina you have to teach for 3 years as labeled a beginning teacher, where you have a mentor, you have more observations, and more people kind of checking in on you. And eventually after that, you become a fully licensed teacher. So I had a rough year last year, despite COVID. And it wasn't even that I had a bad group of kids by any means. I just dealt with a lot because I think and I've kind of made videos on it before about I made the shiny and the new of teaching and having a classroom was over, and it was more the realization of setting in of, okay, this is what you're doing for the rest of your life. Is this really what you want to do? And as much as I knew that's what I wanted, it was still just one of those times where it was really rough because it was like, this is hard, this is emotionally draining. And then when COVID happened, my mental health suffered a lot, and it just made me worried and scared that like I wasn't meant to do this. So let's hold that for a second and let's go back to I know I'm jumping around a lot, but basically my philosophy of education. That was something I had to think about a lot in college. And I remember having to write like multiple papers on what my philosophy was in education. And the whole time I was thinking, oh gosh, this is stupid. But it is something I've stuck with. So I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. Y'all don't come at me. Don't come for me. But in my classroom, the thing I was worried the least about was whether or not my kids got the content. And I say that lightly because, of course, I do want them to learn something. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I want them to be where they need to be at the end of the year. Or at least have learned something. But I say that to say this. That my biggest thing about my classroom and the way I taught was at the end of the day, if my kids knew that I loved them, I appreciated them, and I believed in them, then I have done my job. And I have a pretty strong classroom management, which was a shock to me that I was actually as good at classroom management as I was. And those of you that haven't taught very long or have taught a long time know how important that classroom management is. For those of you who don't know what that is, basically it's whether or not you can manage your classroom. Are your kids running over you? Are your kids misbehaving? Are they on task? Like that's what you're looking for. So somehow God just came down, and I guess that was my gift he gave me, was classroom management, because my kids have done, knock on wood, really well with that. And like, I've done really well with handling that. And I don't have behavior issues. You know, of course I have, everybody has their kids, but I don't have the talking out or the blurting out or the yelling or screaming or whatever. So, like I said, my biggest thing was I wanted these kids to know they were loved, believed in, and appreciated, and that they could do anything they wanted to. So, being a BT, especially in North Carolina, I'm sure in other states, you have to have more observations than a normal teacher. And that means, like, you're getting observed by your mentor, and usually your mentor's on the same grade level as you. Sometimes they can be different grade levels, but they're usually close to you. They check in a lot, things like that. So, and that's basically the person you go to when you have questions, like, in those 3 years. And I mean, of course, beyond. Like, it's not like they just, throw you out to the wolves and they say, okay, well, here you go. But I had an amazing mentor, and I'm about to shout her out because I gotta tell y'all what she put in my observation. So anyway, as a BT, you get observed more, and my mentor had not gotten to observe me this year yet. So she observed me last week, before spring break, and we're on spring break now. And she put in the observation a lot of good things. Like, she put in how, I had grown as a teacher, and I had, learned the content and everything. My classroom management was good. It was really nice, and like, of course, she gave me things I could improve on naturally. But the thing that got me the most was when she said that I've developed a relationship with my students and have created such a good environment for them. And she even put the word that it was a safe haven for so many. And that actually made me tear up, because that's the only thing I've ever wanted to do in my classroom. Because I don't know what these babies go home to. I don't know when they leave me, what they're going home to. If it's no food, or no power, or no water, or screaming parents, or fighting parents, or going home with grandparents, or aunts, or uncles, or foster kid home, whatever it is, I've always wanted my room to be safe. And I've always wanted them to feel like they are not in trouble. They are not, in a bad environment. Because I don't know what these kids go home to every day. And that's always been a fear of mine. It's like, once I leave school, where do they go? Who do they go to? And of course, like, as a teacher, the bare minimum of, okay, they live with mom, they live with dad, whatever. They're adopted, whatever it is. But you still don't know the environment unless you're there. But that just hit me that was what I've always wanted to do. So it really made me consider those times where I did have suicidal thoughts and that I would have missed this opportunity to provide this safe haven for my kids, because my kids need that, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. So the fact that that's reflected by someone coming in and observing me and seeing that. So the guy just came back and tried to bring me my food a second time, but I have my food. So I don't know if it got put in twice or somebody ordered the same thing as me. Oops. So anyway, I'm sure he was like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I was like, you already brought my food. He just goes, I did. I was like, yeah. Anyway, I was trying to thought. Oh, but basically, just the fact that somebody sees that made me feel really good, because that means I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and that means that despite everything I went to get here, I'm doing what I set out to do from the very beginning. So I know that my kids are loved and appreciated, and they know that. And they know that they're believed in. And I like the idea that someone else sees that I've created this safe haven for these kids, because that's what I want to do. But anyway, basically my point is, even when it seems like it's impossible to keep going, take another step forward. Even when your mind and your brain is telling you you're not worth anything, you're not going to do anything, you're not going to make it, keep pushing a little bit more. Take it another hour, take it another minute, take it another 5 minutes, take it another day. Just keep going. Even when it feels like it is impossible to keep going, make it another minute. If it's literally as simple as trying to make it the next 30 seconds and then doing another 30 seconds, keep going. That is my biggest thing, is you are going to reach the point in your life where you are supposed to be. Keep going. So hopefully that brings a little bit of joy to you. It brought a lot of joy to me. It made me feel like I'm a great teacher, and that's what I want to be. So I hope you guys are well. If you ever need to talk to anyone about mental health, or you feel like you're in a dark place, a bad place, please message me. I can put my social media in the description so you can find it. Please message me, talk to me, reach out to me. I will try to help in any way that I can. I will get you in contact with someone who can help you if I can't. But that's my biggest thing, is just don't stop. Don't give up, because you are going to get to your point where you feel the way that I felt when I read that on the observation. And you're going to do what you're meant to do. So I hope you guys are great. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully those of you that are on spring break are enjoying your spring break. I know I'm going to. I slept in till like 11:30 today. Don't even care. I sprayed weed killer, so I did something productive. I'm working on a puzzle, so that's also productive. And now I'm 8, so I feel like I've done something. But I hope you guys are good. I will see you later. Bye, friends.